Virgo is famously a sign that tends to struggle with romance from time to time. However, this is March. If you've been single or facing any other relational issues, there's a good chance of that changing. Right at the beginning of the month, we have a new moon ruled by Jupiter, the planet of good luck, happening in your 7th house of relationships. This is all about a fresh start, regardless of your relationship status. If you're already coupled, this is not a sign that another person is intervening in the relationship. Don't worry. This could simply mean that you're just entering a new phase in your marriage or partnership filled with unprecedented ease and joy. You might find that you two are doing things together much more often than usual. There's even a chance for hosting parties or some late-night wine-filled dates to bring you back to the younger days of your relationship. If you're single, this lunation sure looks like the time to start making those early relationship moments that you'll remember years down the line. One thing must be said, however. Jupiter, especially for those born at night, can lean on the side of excess, so be careful not to get too drunk with your partner one night and end up doing anything regrettable. Don't hold yourself back from a little fun, but do so responsibly. After the lunation, we have a couple planets changing signs, with the first being Mars and Venus. These two will be joining Saturn, the planet of coldness and deceleration. All this action is happening in your 6th house. Traditionally, this is the house of bad fortune, but don't get alarmed. Take this transit as a heads up to get your health in check, especially anything to do with the lower extremities of your body like your ankles, shins and calves. Your 6th house is also the place where Mars rejoices, which could be a sign that an excellent way to remediate the tension this transit can bring is by moving a bit more. Mars is the planet of action, after all. Considering that Saturn has been transiting through your 6th house for the past few years, you might have let go of some of the healthier workout practices you had in the past. This transit suggests it might be a good time to revisit those. Yoga would be an excellent way to blend the activity of Mars with the slow and steady pace of Saturn. And, of course, we can toss Venus in there, helping you look better than ever. Taking you back to romance, we have Mercury also entering your 7th house on the 10th, joining the Sun and Jupiter. Mercury is the ruler of your sign, and that means it will be in opposition to your 1st house when it's in the 7th. This becomes even more significant when we note that the month's full moon is a Virgo full moon. This means while the focus of this lunar culmination is bringing attention to yourself, body and soul, you might be too busy romancing to pay attention to your personal needs. It's essential to create some boundaries if you don't want to lose your sense of autonomy. Romance is fun and all, but you don't want to waste much of your mental energy thinking only when all you indeed are is Amy. Remember that even when you are with somebody, both you and they still have individual goals and aspirations, and you don't want to give up on your needs for their sake at all times. Good relationships need compromise, not sacrifice. With that said, you should also pay attention to the Jupiter and Mercury conjunction happening on the 20th, since this poetic and profoundly emotional combo tends to blur the barriers between your ideas and your partners even more. It's important to note that as much as these delineations might have sound negative, these transits are highly auspicious. You just have to make sure you hold tight to your autonomy in these periods of extreme romantic euphoria. Finally, the month ends with a conjunction of Venus and Saturn in your 6th house. This transit takes us back to themes of physical health, albeit in a much more positive way. Venus has a way to smooth Saturn's cold and stern touch that can make our bodies feel stiff at times. It allows for balance and even flexibility if you move out of your comfort zone a little. This transit happens on the 28th, so take advantage of it to have a bit of Amy day to take care of your body's needs you often overlook. Venus is the ruler of your 2nd house of money resources, so looking and feeling good might even make you some extra bucks at the end of the day. Make March your month, Virgo.